Need a professional logo for your brand? I've used the new Wix logo maker to create one for my store.
All right, you guys should have all finished watching that by now, so chuck your cameras back on and your mics back on, and let's do a quick breakdown. All right, so let's break down this video a little bit. I'll actually stop that sharing and do it a different way. I can stick between both. All right, so we'll start right at the top. How many locations do you think there were there?
3.
There was the grandma living room, the baby living room, the outside with the dog, the gym. I would say 5, 6 places maybe.
There were 7. So there's 7 different locations just in that 1 minute 30 ad, and we can look at that. That we have. That's our first location there. We have our second location, our third location, which is actually different to the 4th location. So they're just two separate places. Here's our 5th location. This isn't included because it's the same as the first location, second location. This is our 6th location. This location doesn't matter. This one here is the same as the second. And then our 7th location is in the class. So if that's location, then we look at personnel. I can't remember. How many people? How many people were in that ad? Yes, me, that's at least 1. People.
Well, I don't know how many people were in the class, but you have like you, the guy. Can we count the dogs?
No, I'm not counting the dogs. There's 12 people in that. There's about 12 people in the class, plus there is the guy, plus there is me. Oh, plus there's the Nana, so 12, 13, 14, yeah.
Nana and the baby.
Yeah, we'll count the baby as well. Little Georgia, there we go. 16 people in that ad. About props. What things were included in this ad that people were either holding or were specifically placed in the background? So we'll say props. And I know that there was a lounge. What else was there?
The boxing glove.
There's a boxing glove.
The mug.
Yes, the mug.
The jars, the flowers.
Yep, the vase, the flowers, the dogs.
The bowl. So was it? What was it? I don't know. Maybe the glove that you threw in the guy.
Yep, that was the boxing glove. Yep.
Cushion.
Yeah.
Chair and cushion.
The cushion, the chair and the cushion. So that was part of I'm going to call it the old lady lounge because it was different to my lounge. What else? There's
The
something called focus
Dutch
pan.
plate.
What was that?
The Dutch plate.
Yeah, the Dutch plate, which was inside the cabinet, which was part of the lounge. So old lady lounge, which included the chair, the cushion, and the Dutch plate. Good work picking up that it was Dutch. That was actually my wife's grandmother.
Yeah.
Very much Dutch. I can't understand a word she says. It's all Jurgen, Splurgen, Björgen, Kurgen. What else?
Well, we can understand what you say sometimes as well.
What can you see here? What can you see here?
Uniform.
All work.
Branded clothing.
Uniforms.
So that none of these people had this branded clothing. I provided all the clothing to them for this video shoot. So now we've also got clothing. What else can we pick up out of this? So there's a hall. Yeah, we know that. There's a picture here, which was specifically put in there for a reason, because it's my other stuff that I do. So we might as well put that in there, that there was wall art. Might as well call my stuff art. Clouds, but we won't say clouds. All right, so here we have the cup that Laura talked about before. There's a plant and some books sitting here in the corner. Did I put them there? No, I did not, but they are there. We have to think about that as well. And those horrible, horrible curtains behind it. We have the clock, but that's part of the lounge. We need the table, the glass table that this vase is sitting on. So there needs to be a table. We won't worry about the fence and the bush behind it because that's part of the location.
What about the table that the vase is sitting on?
Yep, we just put that in there. So that's the table. This is location, so I don't need to worry about the tree or anything like that. That's all part of the location. The stairs in the background, that's all part of the location scouting. We've talked about the dog and the gloves, and the rest of it is location. We talk about the lounge, and specifically got her sitting on a very specific rug. What do you notice about the rug?
Color-coded.
It's color-coded, exactly. So you can see my logo, if I can get to the logo. My Boxlam logo is red, white, and black. And so this rug suits it perfectly because it's red, white, and black. It's perfect. And we don't need to worry about anything here. Glasses are the Talents glasses. Top is the company's top. Okay, cool. So that's probably pretty good when we come to the props that we need for this. And this would all be planned in advance. Some of it you get lucky when you go into locations and there's stuff there that you can use. Otherwise, you need to think about the stuff that you have to bring along to this. So let's talk about who do we need to bring with us? So what have we got? Who do you think was involved in this process? Take the fact that I did everything out of the equation and think about it and just let me know who you think you would have to get involved with this.
Oh, videographer.
So we've got a videographer, so we'll go videographer. Now, the videographer is the person who's shooting the video, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, what else do we need?
You include pre-production?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got pre-production. Everybody,
Actors.
what's pre-production?
Sorry?
Everybody else that's here, what's pre-production?
Setting up. It's what you do before you shoot.
Setting up. So we're going to put in here the setup. This is usually junior marketers that are doing this sort of stuff. There might be an art director involved. Do you think there would need to be an art director for this type of thing?
Probably like a production designer.
Okay, so we've got a production designer.
You were the art director in that one, weren't you?
Yes, but we're taking me out of the equation. So I art directed and I directed and I art directed and I did the videographing, I did some of the shooting, I controlled all of the audio, I did all of the design, and I did the editing. But all of that is the type of people, the stuff that you might not be able to do yourself. So who else, what else have we got here? What's this little thing that's hanging on my shirt here?
Mic.
It's a microphone. So what do we need? Do we need somebody to control sound?
Mm-hmm.
Sound engineer.
A sound engineer, possibly, depending on how it works. For this video, the mic was connected directly to my iPhone, which was in my pocket. So my iPhone was actually recording the audio. And sometimes the mic will connect directly to the camera as well. Sometimes you use an external sound device to capture that sound as well. Okay, so what else do we need? Do we need anything here?
Talent.
The talent, yeah. So we've got, so we need the talent here. And because there's a baby involved, probably need the baby's mum there as well.
Yeah.
Who's taking the video? So we've got a videographer. Do we need more than one?
Sometimes.
Sometimes there might need to be a second. Depending on how you've set up your storyboard when you're designing a video, there might need to be a second camera operator shooting the same thing from a different angle. I didn't use a second camera operator for any of that. I was doing it myself. So I don't think there's a second camera operator anymore. We need, who do we need? He looks like he's doing a poo. Let's go past that. There we go. When animals are involved, do we need a handler to handle the animal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours, probably. So might need an animal handler or the owner of the animal there at least. I don't want to be chewed on by somebody else's dog. More talent. So we need, so the talent here is the owner, which was me. Then we've got another talent, which is the baby. Then we have another talent, which is the random guy. Is there any other talent we need?
Grandmother.
Grandmother, yep. So we need some talent there, which is the grandmother. What else?
The class.
The class, yeah. So we need 12 class participants. Cool. What else do we need?
The guy at the stadium.
What was that?
Guy at the stadium. Yeah, this guy here.
Yep, random guy. Yep.
Yeah.
He's called, literally called random guy. His name's actually Mark Finnegan. It's still random guy there. Okay, so we've got some props here. We've addressed that, so there's nothing there that we need. What about
Steve?
putting this all together?
Editor.
The editor, so we might need an editor. What else do we need?
Sound producer, something like that.
The what, sorry?
Like sound, the music.
Oh, music. Yeah, so we might need to, it's kind of a resource over here, so we need to buy music.
Oh,
Well, actually, you need the script writer before you start everything, right?
Yeah, you need somebody who's just going to write the script. If there's spoken word, which there is. Now, Brian, for your information, I actually wrote all of the music for this as well. So all of the music that you hear, I wrote myself.
Well,
oh,
You can get music for free from YouTube. When you make a video, YouTube allows you to download a whole lot of music for free that you can use license free. So just keep that in mind as well if you guys are ever doing video, that YouTube allows you to use their music. Is there anything else we need? So we've got an editor, a script writer, sound engineer. We've got all of the talent, people that are involved in the background of it, and we've got the person taking the video. It's a pretty good amount. Do we need a graphic designer?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. All right, so we'll pause on the production part for now. And we'll move on to the resources part. So resources is what we actually need to make this happen. So we have some props over here as part of the breakdown. So we'll take the props across because the props are a resource that we need. When it comes to the actual filming of this video, what do we need?
Camera.
We need a camera. Now, the videographer is likely to bring the stuff himself, but we need to make sure that we have it noted down so that when we talk to the videographer, we can say, you need to bring this type of camera. Does he just need one camera? Was all of this filmed on one camera? You guys don't know, but there was actually 3 cameras used in this. And so there was a GoPro used, there was the Osmo, which is, oh, you guys can't see it anyway. And then I have my Canon camera as well. So there's 3 cameras shooting 3 different things. Can you go around? So we've got camera. What else?
Oh, lenses.
Yeah, we need lenses. What does the camera sit on?
Tripod.
The tripod.
Lights.
Lights.
Audio.
Yeah, so we need a mic. We need a way to record the mic. So we'll go sound recorder. What else do we need?
Software to edit the videos.
What was that?
The software to edit the videos.
Yeah, absolutely. So we need, this was done in Premiere Pro, but we could just say editing software.
You need a makeup person.
The makeup person, yeah. So we need possibly, I don't need much makeup because I'm already beautiful, but we'll put anyway. Makeup people. Yeah. What else do we need? Well, as a resource, that's probably going to cut. It's probably
Costumes.
production, isn't it? It's part of our production team. Is going to be a makeup person.
Costumes or something like, yeah. Oh, that's part of clothing. That's fine.
As part of the props. Okay. On the production side, we're missing your role. So we need the marketer, right? Because the marketer is going to be controlling how things go. Any other resources that you can think of?
Food.
Speakers, because the class that was run to music, so it needed a speaker, and it also needs an iPad, and it also needs computers.
Lunch, food.
You're going to offer catering? You come and film.
I don't.
But hey, we'll put it. Yeah.
Obviously, while you're shooting the video, you're gonna. Oh, if it's over half the day, you're gonna have lunch or something.
Yeah, I don't provide anybody with lunch. Okay, we're doing pretty well. Did you put the rug on? No, so we'll put the rug in there as well. Yeah. Oh, pretty good. So it's not just a video. This is a huge amount that's needed for a very, very quick 1 minute 30 video, right? And it's not just the fact of going out there. And yes, you can go out there and take video if you want, but to do it right, you've really got to think about the production value. Knowing now what you know, I'm going to put you guys back into this one here. Now, mine was 1:30. This one is 45 seconds, and I'm going to put it into the chat, and I want you guys to watch this one. Just how many locations there are. And as you're watching it, have a look at how many props there are in this. and we'll come back to it once you guys finish. There it is. It's in the chat now. So turn your mics off. You can leave your cameras on. Please turn your mics off. All right, how many? There's a lot of locations in here, isn't there?
15.
You counted 15 locations, yep.
I would say 20, depending on if we can count again, but if they are wearing the...
Sorry, I missed the last part of that, Laura. Your mic is on.
Or if they are wearing different clothes, like maybe same place but different clothes, so would maybe be another scenario, something like that.
Could be. I think there's 3 different beaches used. There's one beach here, well, there's a wharf here, but whether it's the same as the beach that's in the background there, we don't know. That'll be jumping into a pool, so the chances are there is a pool, because they won't be filming in salt water. So did you count that as a separate location, the fact that she might be in a pool? And then, again, a different beach here. So that's 3 different locations, not to mention that we're now in Paris as well. So you can imagine how much money and time has been spent filming what is essentially a terrible ad, filming on buses, then a very, very specific car. They would have had to have found this vehicle somewhere, or purchased a vehicle and painted it pink, because they do that as well. So we'll go back to here again. So that gives you an insight into, as a marketing person who is getting into video, we've got to look at all of these different types of things. So let's look at the production side. Let's say that we have got all of the resources. Everything has been procured. We know what we're doing. We've had one thing that we haven't put into our production is location scouts. So these are the people that go out and find locations that you can film in. I had 7 locations. I needed to hire a hall. I needed the outside of a school. I needed an empty sports ground that didn't have anybody playing on it at that point. I needed a lounge. I needed an old lady's house. And location scouts do this for you. If you can't do it yourself, then you hire people to go and find these things for you. So, can we complete this video in a week?
No.
No. What would you think is a good time frame for shooting and editing the Boxlim video, including the pre-planning before it?
Weeks?
Weeks?
4 weeks.
1 week.
1 week.
1 week? God, Matt, you're putting the pressure on me now.
2 weeks.
It's more like a month for this one. And the reason for it is you have to find 12 people that can all be in the same place at once for the class shot. You need to make sure that the old folks' home is available. You need to make sure the hall is available, that the schools are available. You need to make sure that the sports field is available. Your pre-planning, your script writing could take a week, because if you're not doing it, somebody else is doing that, and they could be busy. You might contact a script writer and say, hey, I need a 15-second script done for a video that's 5 frames, and it's going to take 15 seconds. And they'll come back and go, okay, that's fine. Our lead time is 2 weeks. Okay, we're already 2 weeks behind now. because the script writer is busy. You need to take things like this into account, that if you're relying on other people, then you need to make sure that your timeline is long enough that there's no people that are going to push your time frame back. What happens in marketing is a lot of times the marketing manager works backwards. They go, oh, we've got a deadline, and the deadline is a month from now. And then they go, well, that deadline can't move. Oh, crap. Now I have to work backwards. And what that does is it puts a lot of pressure on all of the people to try and meet that deadline. But if you're working forwards and you have an understanding of how long things are going to take, then you are going to be in a lot better position, because you can say, okay, my video is going to take such and such. My image is going to take this amount of time. My graphic designers are going to be a week out. That means that my deadline for this video is actually 6 weeks away. You build yourself in a grace period where if something goes wrong, you can still meet your deadline. In the world of marketing, it often, that is the optimal scenario to be able to push stuff out, to have time to think, to plan and execute. Often doesn't happen like that because of bad marketing managers. The marketing managers that haven't gone through what you guys are about to go through when you do your production timeline resource planning, where they just have the end result and you have to meet that deadline, and it just pushes the pressure back on everybody apart from that marketing manager. So now we've got our video, and our video is going to take a month. We have a script writer. So the script writer gives me back the script. What happens now? I've prompted the script writer. I've given them a brief and said, we need 15 seconds of copy across 5 frames, advertising whatever product we want. They give it back to us. What happens now?
Approval.
What was that?
For approval.
Still not getting it?
For approval.
For approval, yeah. So now we have to go through the approval process. Let's say that you're the junior marketer, Matthew, right? So Matthew's the junior marketer. He's been tasked with this job from his marketing manager. Does he have approval to sign off that script?
No.
No, Matthew does not have approval to sign off that script. The script will then go to the marketing manager for sign off. The script has taken a week to get to you. Marketing manager says, no, sorry, that's not what I wanted at all. Go back and do it again. Great, so Matthew's got to now revise it, go back to the marketing manager and say, this is what I want the script writer to do. Marketing manager's going to say, okay, it's going to then go back to the script writer. Script writer's going to write it. It's going to come back again. It's going to go back to the marketing manager. The marketing manager's done their job properly, then it's going to be approved. During this time, during what we're going to talk about today, you're going to hear me putting a lot of pressure on marketing managers to do their jobs properly, okay? Because I've been in the industry for long enough that I know when a marketing manager is being lazy and they push the work back. So bear with me because it falls back on the marketing manager every single time. Script has been done. Woohoo! Okay, script is approved. Now we can start going and get the talent. So a whole lot of headshots come in, right? Of all this different talent that you could possibly hire. Yes, you could use your friends. I've been on TV and I've been on Facebook ads as part of friends of mine's advertising campaigns. So you can use your friends. But once you get the headshots in, is Matthew choosing all the headshots? No. Matthew's not choosing the headshots. He might choose a selection and then give those to the marketing manager. Marketing manager has the final say. Headshots come back, the selection's been made. We've got all our talent, beautiful. We've got the talent, we've got the script. Location scouts have scouted their locations. It took them a week. Cool, we've got 7 different locations that we can now film at, that we have approval to film at. If we're using drones to take footage, there was drone footage in that Dior ad of when she's running down the beach and when the cars are going past, there's a drone. We have to get approval to be able to fly the drone, possibly, depending on where we're flying it, right? So, okay, so we're now 3 weeks in and we have all of our bits and pieces in place. Everybody's ready to go. Videographer turns up and we shoot the video. 3 weeks in, it takes, how long do you think it took to shoot that video for the Boxlam ad?
3 days.
We were done in 1 day. And the reason we were done in 1 day is because me as the marketing manager knew what I was doing. And we went location, 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 location. And then the end location was the class. And so we had everybody arrive at the class at 4 o'clock so that we could do the 4 o'clock filming. And that was our deadline. We had all day till 4 o'clock to finish our recording and end up at that class. So 1 day of filming, beautiful. Now what happens? What happens with all of that footage?
Editing.
It disappears, right? It disappears with the videographer. If you're lucky, you'll get a copy of it on a drive, but a lot of the times it disappears with the videographer because the videographer will do their pre-editing, where they will look at all the content, they'll take out all the rubbish, they'll edit it down to clips, and then they'll send the clips off to be edited. The videographer might do the editing themselves. We don't know. But for the sake of this, the videographer is just doing the filming and the editor is doing the editing. So we get it back from the videographer, and it's taken him 3 days to go through the footage because videographers are busy and they're useless, right? But mostly because they're busy. We get the footage back. We're now almost at 4 weeks. And we go into the editing process. How long to edit a video? You guys have done it with digital design at concept level. Some of you, it would have taken you all day. Some of you, it would have taken you all week. But that box swim video, I edited that in about 2.5 hours, right? And that's not including making the music, obviously, because that was done separately. So the video editing and the sound editing took about 2.5 hours to do. So we're still within our 4 weeks' time. Let's say that the music was bought elsewhere, music slotted in as well. So we're basically right on the 4 week mark. Now what happens with it? We have a rough cut of the video. Now what happens?
Presentation.
Goes off for review again, so it goes to the marketing manager. Now this is the point where the marketing manager might get the owner involved. Oh no, if the owner gets involved, you are in trouble. The owners are the final, we're talking CEO or owner of the company, they are the worst people in the world to deal with because they don't know what they're doing. They know about running a business, they don't know about the marketing side, right? So you now have to convince this person that this is the best piece of work that they've ever seen. So you've got to present it to them. Your marketing manager should do this for you, right? That's what their specialty will be, is trying to convince their CEO that this is what they want. If the CEO says no, you start again. And the whole process starts again. You miss your deadline, you start again. There might only be little tweaks and they're done, which is perfectly fine. I've had a $30,000 TV ad get rejected the day before it went to air because nobody involved the CEO beforehand. And she said no and said, I don't care that I'm about to lose $30,000, you guys start again. And it happens. So the more approval process you guys can get into your production timelining, the more chance you are going to have of actually getting a finished product that everybody is happy with. And it sucks. And I know it sucks. And you're going to I'm going to say you're going to pull your hair out. I mean, this is a result of pulling my hair out over a long time of having to deal with sign-off processes. So if we look at a sign-off process on here and we say, okay, so we're going to start our pre-production, and I'm going to put the marketing manager here, and then perhaps the junior marketer, which is me. Please move. Okay, so pre-production. So the brief is given to the junior marketer. And let's say that this is 1st of June. And this is pre-production stage. So then we've got the copywriter. I can't remember if that's how you spell it. So the copywriter receives the brief on the 1st of June, because you know what you're doing. Copywriter gives the brief back to them. So when do you think the copywriter is going to have time to do this? We said about 3 days, right? So I'm for the sake of this, because I don't have a calendar in front of me, we're not going to include weekends. well, sorry, I am going to include weekends in my dates. Gives brief back, we said 3 days, so now we're going 3rd of June.
That's if they're available.
Only if they're available, yeah. So we've given them the brief on the 1st of June for them to give back to us on the 3rd of June. Out of everybody in the room, I'm just going to expand my screen here. Who knows what a lead time is? Just give me a thumbs up if you know what a lead time is. Some of you, not all of you. Okay, so a lead time is the soonest that your job is going to be able to be done. So when I was managing a studio for WorkCools, they would give me work and I would say straight back to them, okay, that's fine. Our lead time is 4 days. That means that my designers have got enough work on their work in progress for 4 days, and then that job is getting put in. Does that make sense to you guys? Just give me a thumbs up if you understand what lead times are.
You mean they can only start in 4 days?
Yeah.
So lead time's the amount of time until they can start?
So if we have a lead time of a week, it means that my design team is completely rammed the next week. They have urgent work that needs to be completed and they're not going to be able to start on your job for another week. If the marketing manager comes and says to you, well, this is a priority, this is when you guys go back to your work in progress. And I'm going to show you what a full work in progress system looks like in Trello in next week. That's when you go back to your work in progress and start moving stuff around and seeing what jobs you can push out for this urgent job to go in. It was always funny to question them and say, why didn't you think about this job earlier? Because obviously it's urgent, you must have known it was there. Or especially if you've got an email trail and the email trail was like a month ago that they talked about the job. Marketing managers. All right. Michael, you're a marketing manager, right? All right, so it gives brief back on the 3rd of June. So now it's got to go up for review. So marketing manager is going to review it. And if the marketing manager is good at their job, they're going to be able to review that day. If they're not, it's going to be the next day. So let's say it's going to be, the review comes back on the 4th of June. So that comes back to the junior marketer on the 4th of June. I should really put these in here. So it's back to the junior marketer on the 4th of June, and then back to copywriter. So the copywriter receives feedback on the 4th of June because you've done your job properly as well. And then gives brief back on the 5th of June. And then marketing manager approves. Hopefully the 5th of June. Cool. So we're getting somewhere. So this has taken a week to get done so far. Now we have our location scouts on the 5th of June as well. And our talent has taken a little bit longer. Let's say that the talent approval has come through on the 5th of June as well. 5th of June's looking like a busy day. What else did we need? We need to book. We forgot.
Approval for what? What are all these approvals?
What was that?
What are the approvals? What are they approving?
They're approving the talent shots. They're approving the locations. The approval for this section here is all on the copywriter. So that's just the copywriter approval. This is for location. And so we'll say like that's put location approval. And this is the talent approval.
Oh, so they've already received it.
Yeah. So you've given them this information inside this window. So if we put another line in here, and we'll say in here, talent given to marketing manager. So that means that we have, let's say that that was done on the 4th of June. So the talent shots given to the marketing manager on the 4th of June, the marketing manager has approved them on the 5th of June. One thing we've forgotten though. What do you think we've forgotten?
The crew?
What have we forgotten with the crew? We've forgotten probably 2 or 3 fundamental things here. And we've forgotten to book some things. What have we forgotten to book?
Book the
Okay.
whole.
Production crew.
What was that?
The production crew?
Production crew. So we have forgotten to book the videographer. We've forgotten to book the editors. We've forgotten to book the sound engineer. Graphic designer will be in-house, possibly. So let's take all of that. After, maybe around here we can start booking some stuff. Now these guys need to know when we're booking it in, so we need to know when it's booked. So yeah. So booking. Junior marketer can book these. So booking of the videographer. And we're going to say that we're going to book them on the 5th of June. As in, this is when we go out and actually book them, that we are booked for. The editor. Who else do we need to book?
Sound? Question, Steve.
Yeah.
I don't know if the same here. Like, because like from experience, like some usually the videographers or the directors, like they have a say on who's about the talent. Like they have a say on when picking the talent. So I think you might need them, right? Like days before, right?
Videographers booking talent.
Like, because that's usually like director. Like if you're having a director, right?
So the director tells the videographer how to frame their shots.
Yeah.
So the videographer can advise the directors on how they think the shots will be framed, but the director tells them, this is where I want the shot framed. This is how I want it framed. In the case of this, if you're not hiring a director, then it's going to be the marketing person that's going to direct the shoot. They will be the ones booking the talent. And it might be different where you're from. From experience here, it's always been marketing managers and the marketing team and sometimes the design team that are choosing the talent.
The talent. Okay.
They know the full picture of how it's going to look on images, how it's going to look, across all different aspects, not just the video.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we've booked them. We've got the location approval. So now we also need to book the location. So the locations get booked on the 5th of June as well. You can see how the 5th of June is becoming busy, isn't it? Cool. Okay, so that's all done and ready to go. What do we need to do now? We need to, what are we missing here? In amongst all of this, what are we missing? Yeah, so somebody has to get all this stuff. Guess who that person's going to be? You. So you have to procure all of this stuff. So a lot of it, in my experience, a lot of it you are going to bring from your house and your friends' houses and your marketing manager's house, and because nobody wants to buy props and never use them again. So the amount of stuff that you can get from other people is going to do well. So we need to put in here that the junior marketer is, oh, I can't spell.
Did you break that vase?
Nah. The vase is like 5 millimeters thick. And there was, you can't see what's under it. There's a whole lot of cushions underneath.
Okay, I was just wondering.
So procurement could take you a little bit of time. So 5th of June, let's say that that's going to be done by the 10th of June. to get all of that stuff together. What else have we forgotten to book?
The hall?
The what? The hall? That comes under locations.
Oh.
Equipment?
The equipment, like all of this.
Yeah.
Yep. So we've got equipment booking. Whatever we don't have, we need to be able to procure. So we'll keep that under here for equipment. Oh, I can't spell equipment. And that's going to be procurement as well. And we'll do that on the same day, 10th of June. Well, by the same. Who else have we forgot to book?
Catering.
Makeup person.
What was that?
The catering.
The catering.
Caterers, makeup person.
Bear, he can take his catering and he can.
What's wrong, Steve? You don't like to eat.
What about? Can't afford to pay you. All right. What about all these people? We've got approval for them, but we haven't booked them. So we need to make sure that we have our talent approval and our talent booking. I don't want to do everything on the 5th, so let's push that back to the 6th of June. We've got our editor in there. Yep, we've got our editor in there, that's good. You can see how having these lists helps with our production planning on the other side so that we can keep referring back and going, have we forgotten anything? Props are all done, that's been done, all of that's done. Personnel's done. Yeah, those are all done. That's all done. That's all done. Okay, so looking pretty good. We're at the 10th of June. So this means that our video shooting could take place. Let's give us a couple of minutes just to be safe. And then we're going to go the video shoot. And the video shoot is going to be done on the 13th of June. So we know that the video is going to take, let's give it 4 days to get back. It's the 17th of June, back to the junior marketer. So the junior marketer receives it on the 17th of June. Use some drugs. 17th of June, and we're going to give it to the first of the sign-off process. No, it needs to go to the editor. So it's received, and it goes to the editor, sent to the editor on the 17th of June, and then the editor sends it back. So the editor receives back. Oh, it's going to take them. Kelly, how long did you say it was going to take for them to do the video?
A day.
1 day, okay. We'll roll with a day, 18th of June. So it's back on the 18th of June. Then we come to our sign-off process. So we're going to go sign-off rough cut to the marketing manager on the 18th of June. And then it's back to the junior marketer. Let's say the 19th of June. We're doing okay. Is it approved? Let's say it's approved, because we'll stop there for this.
It always changes.
There always changes, exactly. So that's the rough. So back to the editor then if there's changes. So back to the editor. And junior marketer has sent it back to the editor on the 19th of June. Editor's going to take another day to get it back. So it's received on the 20th of June. And then it's back to the marketing manager on the 20th of June. And then let's say it's final approved, sent back here on the 21st of June. So that's a basic production timeline and a resource plan. This is part of assessment. So you need to create one of these for assessment too. It'll become clearer next week when you get the actual assessment. Has this been helpful? do you guys understand production timelines and resource plans when it comes to just a very, very simple video at a minute 43, and I need all of this stuff? The more that you guys can do by yourself, feel free to take a photo of this if you wish, or a screen grab of it. It's a mess, but this is how it is. So you guys.
Sorry, would you mind just zooming a little bit, because it's very, very small.
Can we get a copy of this from you?
No, if I give you a copy, you know what I'm going to get back? Exactly this, and I don't want exactly this back. So, it's pretty good on my screen. If I zoom it in, you're going to miss a whole lot of stuff, Laura.
I can see it now. It's better. Thank you.
And there's heaps more down there. Take a photo of the bottom of it as well. So this is very, very specific to my video that I created. It's different for other videos that are created. It really does come down. What is this? Is this frozen on your screen? What does it say? I'm still, there we go. Okay. So it comes down in assessment 2, you've got to create 3 pieces of media, right? You have to either create an image, you have to create a video, or write a storyboard for a video, and you've got to create an infographic. When it comes to your video, this is what you have to decide. You have to decide specifically for the video that you want to create, what resources you need and what kind of production timeline you need. The production timeline for this is just for the video, but you also have to create this for the image, and you have to create it for the infographic, because different people are involved doing different things. When it comes to the image, I am just going to pull up an image. I've got a great image somewhere too. And where's it gone? Oh, that's not it.
So do we have to hire cameras and stuff?
You don't have to hire cameras, no. So what I'm about to show you, you'll kind of understand. So let's say I've got this image here, and this is an image directly off the internet, right? It is from a program called Unsplash, and I haven't taken this photo. As part of your assessment, you have to create an image, right? You have to create an image. In the past, people have been submitting something like this. They take an image off the internet and they say, this is my created image. And I go back and say, that's not your photo. You didn't take it. You haven't altered it in any way to make it yours, right? So when it comes down to image creation for assessment 2, yes, you can take an image off the internet that references the brand or the company that you're going to work with, but you have to alter it. So if I go in here and go, right, we need to make this, because it's going on Facebook, it's going to be 1200 by 1200. This is a specific image post going on Facebook at 1200 by 1200. Oh, I hate the aspect ratio already. I hate it, but we'll deal with that later. Okay, so straight away, I've now altered the image because it's now been cropped, so it's not exactly what it was before. And I need to now make this specific for my brand, because I can't take, even if I've paid for this image, it is not specific to my brand. Why are you not letting me do anything? Still working? Just give me 1 second. There must be a dialogue. Oh, there we go. There it is. All right. And obviously, you don't have to do it. Please don't do exactly what I'm about to do, because it is specific to your brand. but I'm going to make this image more in line with what my company would require. So then I can get away with using it. And I can pass it off as being specific to my company. I'm not going to do the whole thing, obviously, and I'm going to do it horribly rough. Go back up through there, back down there, and across. So you can see that I'm starting to add elements to the image to make it my own. However you choose to do that. There will be logos that will go on this image. There will be other brand elements that will go on this image, especially if you're using the company that you created in digital design. Once this image is finished, it will be more my image than it will be the image that I purchased. Does that make sense for you guys? That you can't just drop an image in off the internet and then go, oh, this is my image, this is it all done, because that doesn't count. That's literally just copyright theft if you're going to pass it off as your own. You have to change the image that you download, or go out, use your phones, take photos. We've got the tools now, right? So you can go out and you can take photos of things that would reference your brand and then pass those off as your own work as part of the image that you have created for assessment. When it comes to the video, you guys have a choice. You can either go out and shoot a video, you can find video clips online and you can collate them into your own video. You can't just send me somebody else's video with your logo over the top of it. It doesn't work like that. You actually have to create it. Or you can write a storyboard. And next week, I'm going to show you guys how to do your storyboarding. So next week, we're going to go workflow management in Trello, because Trello is one of the tools that you will be able to use for your assessment. And we're going to go through a program called AdParlor, which some of you guys may have used before, and especially in social media. And we're going to go through storyboarding. So next week's classes are really super important for that. Are there any questions on production timeline resource planning that we've just covered?
No, but I have had a question the whole time. What, that video that you made for your company, what would that have cost if you had outsourced everything?
I'd say the talent alone would have been expensive. It depends how much you can get for free. So the type of people that you can get to come in for free, like your friends.
It's not for free. I want to get a realistic understanding.
Probably $5,000 or $6,000.
Okay.
Maybe more. The videography alone would probably be about $2,000 a day. Editing, you're probably looking at, for that ad, probably $400 or $500 for editing. Talent varies. I can't tell you how much the talent would cost, because depending on the profile of the person that you choose will dictate the cost that they are. If you're literally getting extras, then they might be $50 or $60 a day. And so we've got, if we take 15 extras and we need them for 2 hours, that's going to be about $1,000 just for, if they're on $50 an hour, 2 hours each. This is why you've got to be really quick. Then you've got your main talent, which was the owner. He wouldn't cost anything, but he needs to be able, the person that you choose needs to be able to speak on camera. So not everybody can do that. So sometimes having someone like the owner is a bad idea, especially if they're an introvert and they can't speak. Like if you can't present in class with me, just if it's me and you, then you're probably not the right person to be in front of a camera as well. So you need to think about, are you the best person for the role, or can I get other people in? But talent, I mean, you're looking at, if Mark, who was the random guy, he was there for an hour and a half and we used him for less than 3 or 4 seconds. That probably, if it was well known, That could have cost me between $2,000 and $5,000 just for an hour of his time, especially if you're going through an agency, because then you've got agency fees on top of it. Camera hire would have come from the videographer, so we wouldn't have to worry about that. The videographer likely would have bought lights as well, but if not, lights are going to run you a couple of $100s a day as well.
So what did it end up costing you?
What did that one end up costing me personally? It cost me 12 t-shirts.
Pardon?
It cost me 12 t-shirts.
Okay.
The t-shirts that they were wearing, they were all stinky by the end of the session, so I didn't want them back, so they got to keep them.
Yeah.
But they're literally, they are my class. Like, they are people that I've selected out of all of my Auckland classes. I selected a bunch and said, come along, do some filming, it'll be fun. So got them for free. Mark is a client of mine through boxing as well, so he was free, he lived in the area. The camera guy who was me, he was my junior designer from Whitcoulls when I was there. So I filmed his application onto Married at First Sight, and so I made him come and film this for me. Dana's grandmother was free. The dogs we owned. The baby was mine. The location was my house. The school that we filmed at was one of the schools that I used as one of my locations for my classes anyway. So we filmed after my class, so it was free. Oh, the hall cost me $50. So 12 t-shirts and $50. This is the beauty about being able to do everything yourself. So get good at video editing, get good at graphic design, get good at filming, and you're going to do entire things like that yourself. And it's going to be so, if you're looking at running your own business at any point, get good at filming, because it's going to cost you so, like $50 and 12 t-shirts, come on, right? Opposed to $5,000. But I'm special, remember, I'm special. I can do all these things myself. If you need to go out and outsource, you need to be able to foot the bill for that. That's why you also need to think about return on investment, which we get into a little bit later on as well, where we get the cost of that video costing $5,000. And then we go, well, what are we actually selling here? I'm selling $10 classes. Is a $5,000 video worth $10 classes, right? I have to sell a whole lot of classes on the back of that video for the cost of that video, which is why.
No, that's the thing, because a lot of SMMEs can't afford that kind of thing.
No, they can't, which is why what you guys are doing here is so important, because the industry is changing where they want to hire one person who can do everything and be able to do everything. Exactly what you said, small business can't afford a $5,000 video. They can't advertise on the back of a $5,000 video either. And so they want to hire somebody like me who is on staff at, you know, if I'm actually employed by a company on $100 an hour, that's a lot cheaper if I can do everything and I have all the equipment than somebody who outsourcing who's going to cost you $200-300 an hour. So Kelly, if you got good at video production and you got good at shooting video and you got and you're already a designer and you've got the marketing side as well, at the end of this course, you're going to be able to do what I do and do everything yourself, which means that you're going to be more desirable to somebody looking for somebody to do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, getting into video making is a whole thing. I don't really have a passion for that.
If the industry wanted it, then you would do it though. So if you were finding it hard to find work because you say you don't want to do it because you're a graphic designer and video doesn't interest you, but then we look at the data that says that, you know, how video works and how people absorb video better than images, then you might start thinking, well, now I need to branch out into this industry because video is the future. Video is where everything's going. Just grab it. This little guy here is one of my main cameras, and it cost me $400, and it's an X rental, but I didn't care. It's $1,000 camera for $400, and you just can't discount and say, oh, everything's too expensive to get into video, because it's really not. You can buy secondhand gear really, really cheap. Go out there and take some video and get good at it. Especially for you, Kelly, I reckon you should actually have a look at video a little bit closer. Do you do photography?
No.
It kind of works hand in hand with design. The visual aspect of it is really, really good. And the good thing about video, I know I'm rambling now, the good thing about video and photography is you get to assemble things inside a frame. It's very similar to design, where you get to layer things up and you get one shot at it, you know, that's your photo and that's done. But they go side by side, design and photography and video. It's all sort of merging into one thing. Otherwise, Adobe wouldn't have Premiere, wouldn't have Adobe Audition and all of that built into it now.
Mm.
Don't discount video just yet, Kelly.
But maybe I'd do a short online course or something.
For video?
Hmm.
Yep, I can direct you to a few places that does very specific short courses in videography and photography.
Cool, thanks.
That's going to draw this section of the class to a close. So I'm going to send you guys off on your dinner break now. And then when you guys come back, you're going to be working on the final touches of your assessment. And for those that want to present now, I'll be opening up a separate room and we'll disappear into there and you guys will be able to present directly to me. So go and have some food. I'm going to rest my voice for a little bit because I've been talking too much. And I'll see you back at somewhere around 10 to 7.
Cool, thanks, Steve.
Steve, can for the assessment, can I put the buyer persona into a table because I'm running low on words?
Yeah, buyer personas can go into tables.
Okay, all right, cool.
Who said sorry for being late? I was picking up a laptop borrowed from NZIE and setting up everything. Nobody? Just says NZIE student.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Steve?
yeah?
Yeah, just to confirm about the topic of storytelling and message, I just need to write one paragraph, right?
For which part?
The last part of the assessment.
Yes.
I need to write the draft.
So you'll have three
drafts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on my report, I just took the screenshot of the blog with the article. It's fine.
Is the headline in there as well?
Yeah, headline and the draft.
Yeah, so the storyline is the theme of it, so you might need to talk about that. If that's included in the actual write-up in the blog, then perfectly fine, but just remember what the storyline is and how it's different to the message.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Steve, the message doesn't have to be very long.
No,
it's just like a couple of sentences, isn't it?
Even less. If you've got 3 messages, so yeah. What is the headline going to be? If it's more than a couple of sentences, then the message is way too long.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
Right. Go ahead. I'm leaving right now.
All right.
Navraj, did you need me?
Yeah. Just for 1 second. Yeah, I just want to confuse between the first and the second hand data. According to my research, is that the first hand data is like if I have my company and if I just want to use a Google Analytics and found something about the knowledgeable about my company. So is it the first hand data? But I'm just confusing about the second hand data.
Second hand data is when you go out and analyze information. So you can go out and try and find a buyer persona by researching your competitors' audience, right? Once you've identified the competitor's audience and you go, okay, this is what I believe the buyer persona is, then you can go to first-hand data to go out and actually research those specific people. So second-hand data is your observations of what you believe that their buyer persona could potentially look like. And then the first-hand data is your actual research onto those people.
Oh, good. And there, sorry.
No, it's fine.
there are some tools which is helps to gather first and second hand data as well. Like for instance, we want to say that the same rush, which we can just implement on our own site as well. We can implement it on our competitor side as well. So in that tool, where we can give the preference of this tool, like is it on the first hand or the second hand?
If you are getting the information from a tool, then it becomes first-hand data because it is specific data. It's not done from an observation, it is specifically coming from that company.
All good, all good. And Facebook Insight is also considered as first hand data.
Yeah, because that if you have that, not everybody has access to Facebook Insights for the company, but yeah, that becomes first-hand data because it is specific data that has been gathered.
Yeah, because no one can see those things which only the company members see.
I can't argue with you if you provide me with first-hand data because I can't argue with it. Second-hand data, I can argue with you about unless you're backing it up with research.
So we can include testimonials report is in, I think, in second hand. Is it?
Not really. Second-hand data is not really testimonials. It's because the testimonial doesn't give you insight into who the person actually is. The testimonial just gives you a biased review of a product or service, unless you can find out who the person who wrote the testimonial was and then make an observation based on that.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Steve, just one last question.
Look, I really want to go and rest my voice. Can it wait just a little bit?
One more.
All right, let's go.
Just regarding the presentation, do we need to present first-hand data and second-hand data with the persona, or just the persona itself?
Does it say on the presentation list on the assessment? I don't have it in front of me.
No, it doesn't.
Then you don't need to present it. Only present the stuff that it specifically says to present on the presentation list.
Okay, cool. No problem. Thank you. Thanks.